and welcome to step 7, which is naming your business. Yeah, this is a fun bit. This is really fun. So, this is one of my favorite parts. I just do this in my own spare time, come up with business names because it's just so fun. You might hate it, and if you hate it, please message me because I will help you. It's Sair, SAIR at sairz.com. But if you love it, this is going to be a really exciting time for you. So, there's many things to consider, but really when you're naming your business, there's no real rules, but there's just some things that will help you to be recognized and some things that will help your clients to be able to find you easier, pretty much. But there's no real rules. You can name your business anything if you want to. You can name it shit if you wanted to. It's just, yeah, there's no rules. It's up to you. And it's got to feel aligned with you because you're going to have it for a long time. So you want it to be something that you love, something that you know your ideal soul family is going to love. So just really consider those things mainly. Really listen to your gut on your own intuition because you will know. You'll know when it's good, and let it sit, let it sink in for a day or two, and have a think about it. Maybe play around on Canva, try to get some designs happening, and then set on it. The other thing is too is don't sit on it for too long, and don't keep changing it constantly because you can get overwhelmed with it, and you can keep on doing it to the point where you're like, I don't like anything. So it does come to a point where you've got to choose one. So coming up with a business name, it is creative and it is fun. And there's some things like that, yeah, as you go along, you just don't want to get stuck on just the naming of the business and the logos. They're the two things that I find a lot of business owners get stuck on. They're all these different names, all these different ideas, and then they get on the logo and they try it for ages. And don't worry, the reason why I'm saying is because I am one of those people. I was going to say was, but no, I still am. But you can change it along the way. It's not forever, but you do have to pick something and start working on it. It's literally just start. So find something that does align and you're happy with it. And then same with the logo, happy with it, move on because you can always come back and make changes and go from there. But I just want you to think about that now before you go into it and get stuck down the rabbit hole. But the first thing is like wordplay, rhyming, stuff like that is really cool. Um, you could do things that like have personal interest and business. You could bring it in. So, like for example, if you love music and creativity, you could do like the Creative Co or something like that. I know that's very simple, but um, say if your name was Katie's Creative Co or something like that. The other thing is using your own name. So I've used my own name. You can use that. Mine's changed from Sarzy to now the Sarzy Experience because I've brought in music like the Jimi Hendrix Experience, and I've brought that in as the Sarzy Experience to sort of add a little bit of music in there because mine's mainly business, but I wanted music in there as well. So I added that in. Um, Other things are like favorite things and references. So, like, you can incorporate your favorite books, your favorite songs, your favorite movies, your hobbies. Look for unique phrases that you're like, oh, I could play on those words. Like, play on words are really cool. And concepts that resonate with you and your brand and the idea that you're trying to put out there. So, for instance, one of my soul clients named her business Of Peace and Pause, and so it encapsulates her brand because she helps owners with their pets to create peace, but also with grief and grieving and the time before they their death and then afterwards. She really helps that period and creates peace within the household and helps peace with the animals as well, which um, she's amazing, by the way. So of Peace and Pause, if you want to look it up. But it encapsulates her brand, but it's also one of her favorite books of Mice and Men. So it's got like Of Peace and Pause of Mice and Men. It's like just a little play on words. Um, and she remembers reading that And then she went back and she went through it again. She was like, yeah, it does really like resonate with her. And then she also loves music. And even though the band of Mice and Men isn't one of her favorite music bands, but because it was music, she's like, that's really cool too. So she was really happy with that. And when we were both working on it, and when we come up with it together, we were just like, that's the one. We were both like, you have a deep knowing that that's the one we're going to go with. And she can always change it down the track. She might change it to just peace and pause. Who knows? But right now it's a peace and pause, and she's happy with that, and now she can move on to the next stage. So another thing you can do is blending two words. So you can get two words or parts of words and create a new catchy name. Like let me try to think of a brand like fintech for for financial technology or something. But you can do stuff like that. Um, you can do mythology and legends. So you can draw inspiration from mythology, folklore, or historical figures that align with your brand's values and your brand. So, for instance, like you could do, I don't know, Mercury Muse for like a creative agency inspired by a Roman god Mercury, something like that. I don't know, but you could do that kind of thing. And I really love the free website Name Lab. And what that does is you can type in, say, like, for me, say it was creative, confidence, business, um, SESI, and something else, say, and you type that into Name Lab, and then it'll come up with either like a straightforward name or a quirky name or combining two words name, all that kind of stuff. So it's really fun to play around with. So jump on there and really play around with some names. It's really fun. And it also does up some logos, so you can actually see it like done as a logo, which is good as well because it gives you more visual if you're a visual person. So jump on there, you will love that. Um, and then acronyms, you can use acronyms, but just be really careful with acronyms because years ago when I was working in hairdressing, there was a company, there was a hair company, and they were called GKMBJ. And I still remember it because I had to memorize it, which I suppose could be a marketing tactic, but it took me ages to memorize it because I'd be like G B, oh, what was it? Just keep doing that. But clients definitely couldn't remember. Like I was around it all the time, so I was just constantly looking at it and memorizing it. But clients could never. They'd go the one that starts with G, and that would be more likely a good name. The one that starts with G. So just think about that because if the client went to go type it in online, they wouldn't be able to remember it. So just be careful of that one. But you could do, um, like there's so many companies that do that, but try to get it to spell a word if you're going to do that. If you're going to use initials and meaningful phrases and acronyms, especially, just really try to get it to spell out something like Spark that stands for like soulful, personalized, artistic, rare creations with a K or something like just really think about so it spells out a word. Um, then we've got like localization. So you can like if you're from Melbourne, like Melbourne music mixtape or something like that, or for a music studio. Um, and then you've got the visual and the emotional appeal. So you want to choose a name that evokes a strong visual or emotional response related to your business. So really think about like if you wanted a luxurious fashion brand, you want it to be like velvety. You really want it to be like you're just going down this vortex of velvet. Um, so just think about what you want to evoke. And then you've got asking people. So really do a lot of that work either with your coach and you or one person and you, someone close, and then take it to other people because you don't want to be bombarded by everyone's opinions because everyone is different. No one knows a business like you, so you're going to have more of an idea. And if you allow too many opinions, because some people will say, I hate that name. And then that just blocks you off from, maybe that was the perfect name and you're just now blocked off because someone said, I hate it. Just be very mindful of that. But just have fun, have lots of fun, try lots of different things. There's heaps more things other than those things, but they're the main ones that I find that you've got to just a few things that you've got to be wary of, and a few things that you can use that can really make a really cool business name. So have fun, and I'd love to hear them. Please email me your business name that you come up with and tell me the backstory. I'd love to know. So see you in the next lesson, and thanks for being here. Bye.